I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen much cyberpunk up to this point. Well, don your mirror shades and jack in, because Download is slicing us through the glittering spires of cyberspace. Download's an original game, and it arrived on chip, but I have pretty good reason to suspect it was targeted as a disc game. There are some very lengthy cutscenes, for example, ones that would be perfect for voice acting streamed from CD. And the developer Alpha System has mainly stuck to doing CD games for NEC. There was also a voice-acted version of one of the cutscenes that we saw on the Ultrabox magazine disc. I couldn't find anyone actually talking about Download's development, so the idea of it originally being targeted for the CD-ROM is just my theory, but it does seem likely. The story of the game is that in a cyberpunk future, corporations have learned how to back up human brains in a digital form through a process called download. Sid 2091 is a cyber diver with skill in handling these minds, and one of the megacorps comes to him with a special request. Of course, it's a setup, and Sid's partner is arrested by the police, and the game kicks off with Sid taking his high-tech flying motorcycle, or Motorotor, and takes on the automated police force. And at this point, I expect about half of you have commented on this video saying that the title should be Upload, not Download. So thank you for the engagement. The improperly titled Download is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. It features 6 stages that will take you through the megapolis of the future, right down to the depths of the cyber frontier. The first 3 stages are pretty long, then the 4th is kind of medium length, and the 5th and 6th stages are really short. Before most of the stages, you can choose your weapon loadout. You have your pick of 2 primary weapons and 3 secondary weapons. The Beam Valken is the spread shot, though initially it only fires straight forward, and the Laser Cannon is the more powerful straight ahead shot, though as it upgrades, it can fire behind you. For the sub-weapons, you've got Chaser Missiles, which home in on enemies, Crusher, which is a bomb with a huge explosion, and Barrier, which acts as a force field. Now this is a case where some of these options are easier to play with than others. But, as a shoot-'em-up, Download is also one of those games where as your skill with it increases, the other options become more enticing. It's relatively easy to make your way through the game with the Beam Valken and Barrier, and in fact that's what I settled on for most of my playtime. But the Laser Cannon is very effective, the Crusher has some secret tricks to it, and the Chasers are chasers, I guess. Yeah, they were the ones that I couldn't really make work. Occasionally, power-ups will float across the screen for you to collect, and the little oval ones with no symbol on them are the weapon power-ups. As you collect those, the Beam Valken goes to a 3-way shot, then it doubles its firepower, then it goes to a 5-way shot, and then picks up a rear-firing option. The Laser Cannon increases its firepower, and then gains a rear-firing shot. Secondary weapons, which are controlled with button 1, are where things get really complicated. The Chasers fire 2 missiles at a time, and start out with 96 ammo, so you can fire them quite a bit, theoretically. In practice, you have to stop firing your main gun before you can fire the missiles. Download is a game that will auto-fire for you, and you're really not going to find breaks in the action where it's appropriate to stop. So I found the Chasers to be the least effective of the items. The Crusher, on the other hand, is special. You press button 1 to launch it out the front, and it's a little blue circle that will just hang out there. You can press button 1 again to detonate it, but the circle can also absorb any bullets that are coming at you, and if an enemy collides with it, then the Crusher detonates itself. You only have 6 shots, but it's a weapon that can be used tactically. It's offense and defense in one. Just a little bit tricky to use, which is really exactly what you want to see. The Barrier is more straightforward. It starts out with 15 layers, so it can take 15 hits, and it only covers 1/4 of your ship. Pressing button 1 rotates it clockwise around you. Of course, most of the time, attacks are going to be coming at you from the front, so it's pretty effective to just leave it there and work on dodging from other directions. Your Motorotor can take 4 hits before it crashes, and that's indicated by your shield bar. Getting hit will also reduce your weapon power level by 1. You only get 1 life in download. When you get a game over, you get a pretty cool little screen with a unique message for every stage. Using language like that is how you know it's cyberpunk. It's a gritty future after all. You have infinite continues in download, and there's even a password save. Though I'm afraid this one doesn't support the Tennokoe 2 memory bank. Shield recharges usually drop from pods, though these items will cycle between large and small. The large one will recharge 1 point of your shield, while the small will recharge all of your secondary weapon. These are common enough that you can keep your weapons topped off. There's one more type of item that you can collect, and once again, it flickers back and forth between 2 possibilities. This capsule can either have a D, which will destroy all enemies on the screen when you collect it, or it can have an infinity symbol, which will make you invincible for a short time. I generally found the invincibility to be the more useful of the two. Download is one of those shoot-em-ups where there aren't power-ups to adjust your speed. Instead, you have full control over it by hitting the select button. The game defaults to the 3rd position, and I found it to be pretty comfortable there, but you can bump it up or down as you need to. Something that you may have noticed is that this is a game where collision with terrain doesn't affect you. You can get crushed, of course, if the screen keeps scrolling and you're behind a wall, or if obstacles close in on your ship. But on the stages with tight spaces, you don't have to worry about running into the ground. Download got a sequel on the PC Engine, creatively titled Download 2. That one was a CD game, and it was a pretty quick turnaround, so you won't be waiting years for me to reach it. Download was also adapted into a direct-to-video animated film. Rather than telling the story of the game again, it's all about a chain email that's fatal if you don't pass it on. Opinions on Download in Japan are relatively mixed. Most of the complaints revolved around the game being too short, and that the second half of the stages just weren't as good as the first half. The people who liked it, though, really liked the presentation a lot. Even if I found a few people who considered the cyberpunk setting to be a bit confusing. My take on Download is, this one's really good. It is a little bit on the easy side as a shoot-em-up, but I also think it includes a lot of tools so that if you do get good at it, options are built in to change things up. It's also one of the more visually impressive games on the PC Engine to this point. That is a lot of parallax scrolling, and a lot of visual storytelling in the stage progression. You'll often see the big enemies long before you have to fight them. Download is an exceptional game for the PC Engine. One of the stronger shoot-em-ups on a platform known for its great shoot-em-ups.